Running low on units? Having to manually farm for resources? Well then this video is for you. Today I'll be showing you how to build a 6 million unit per day gold farm, making the early game 10 times easier. It's your navigator from Galactic Void Journeys. Thanks for joining me. Now before we begin, there are a couple of upgrades and resources we'll need to acquire. Firstly, you'll need to have reached the anomaly in the No Man's Sky story. This is because you need to unlock the components needed for the gold farm we will be building. Once you have reached the anomaly, speak to Iteration EOS. They have the multi-tool upgrades we need. Specifically, we are looking for the survey device. But in order to get this device, you'll need to unlock the waveform recycler as well. You'll need about 440 nanites to get both of these upgrades. If you're not sure how you can get nanites, you can do so by searching abandoned buildings on planets, uploading your discoveries, destroying sentinels and selling the items that get dropped, or you can get as a reward for completing missions. After unlocking and installing the survey device, we can move over to the construction research station. Under the industrial module section, we'll need to unlock the electrical wiring, mineral extractor, supply depot, supply pipe, biofuel reactor, solar panel, and battery. This will cost you salvage data, which can be found by going onto planets and using your scanner to find this icon that you see. Once you reach the icon, you can dig into the ground using your terrain manipulator and retrieve the salvage data. Sometimes you can get up to 4 salvage data in a single area, but it is random. In total, you'll need about 33 salvage data. In terms of materials needed for the gold mine, we'll need 183 metal plating, 730 chromatic metal, 240 gold, 240 magnetized ferrite, 400 condensed carbon, 500 ferrite dust, and then lastly 500 carbon. The 500 carbon is for the supply pipes and the platforms. For the sake of this video, I'll just be using the normal default platforms that are given to you in the game. I will not be using anything more. If you decide that you want to put it on a different platform, you'll just need to adjust the resource counts. Now that we have all the parts unlocked, we'll need to find an exotic planet that has gold deposits. Exotic planets can be found in red star systems the most, second would be blue star systems, and third would be the green star systems. They also can appear in a yellow star system as where I have found it. I have found a sporal planet that contains copper, gold and cobalt with no sentinels. You don't have to find a planet without sentinels, but it will be a help when you're building your base to not be attacked constantly. Begin by landing your starship on the planet that has the gold deposits and begin scanning for mineral deposits. Sometimes you are lucky and find a deposit straight off the bat, other times you'll need to search for it. Opening up your scanner, you notice that you've got 3 additional sections at the bottom. We'll be using the mineral survey mode. The other 2 modes are useful for finding power or gases on a planet, but for today we'll just be using the mineral survey mode. As you can see, we've already picked up a hotspot. We're not able to tell what the hotspot yields as of right now because we're too far from it. We can see that on the left side of the screen. We do know that it has a potential yield of a B class. Let's get a bit closer in order for us to determine what sort of deep mineral deposit this is. As you get closer, you'll notice that the beeping sound becomes faster. This indicates you are getting much closer to the node. Now that the spot is being analyzed, we'll be able to tell what exactly it is. As you can see on the left, it's a cobalt deep level mineral deposit. Has a potential of a B yield. Density underfoot is 52% and max density is 60%. We're not necessarily interested in doing cobalt, so we're going to continue to search around until we do find the gold. Right now you can see me running, but I'm not necessarily scanning. This is because we need to get out of range of the old node in order to search for a new node. At times it may say no nearby spots. That's perfectly fine, you just keep walking until you do find one. As you can see, we have found ourselves a gold deep level mineral deposit. This is excellent. The potential for C is a bit low, however for the sake of this video it will still be able to hit 6 million units in a single day quite easily, so I'm not too stressed about that. We can see directly where the character is standing. We have a density underfoot of 37% and a max density of 40%. It is important that we find that middle ground for 40% when we start building. The next step, now that we found our gold node, is to put down a base computer. This will claim the site as ours and allow us to build our gold farm. Now we just need to find where the highest yield rate would be, so the density underfoot, get it as close to 40% as possible, as that is the max density. This is where we will need to put down our mineral miners. Happy with this spot, I'm going to start building a timber floor panel. Try center it exactly where the highest yield rate would be. We're then going to build a 3x3 platform, as this is what is required to hold all the components we're going to be putting down. Next up, we're going to build our mineral extractors. Watching that density underfoot until you find the best spot. Usually I can't get it on the spot, so 39% of 40, I'm happy with that. Try place the mineral extractors directly under the highest density point. Today we'll be building 3 mineral extractors. This should allow you to hit 6 million units in future. If you would like to build more, that's perfectly fine. Just note that the yield of each mineral extractor drops the more mineral extractors you put on a site. Now it's important that we have somewhere to store all the gold we're going to be pulling out the ground. So let's build a couple of supply depots. Supply depots allow the farm to run overnight, and it will store the gold that it extracts out of the ground. We are going to be building 16 supply depots. The total storage thereafter should be 16,750. You can then log in once a day to come and take the gold out and get your 6 million units. I'm going to start off by connecting the pipes now before I do my second layer of supply depots. This just makes it easier to hook everything up. Ensure that the mineral extractors are also hooked up to the supply depots. We can now add in the second layer of supply depots. You don't have to do it this accurately as I'm doing it currently. I just like my bases to look neat and tidy, but you can do it however you want. The formation I'm doing here is not required in any way. As long as all the supply depots are connected to each other, you should be fine. If everything is connected up properly, you should see 16,750 storage for gold. Currently there's 0 per hour, that's because the mineral extractors are not necessarily running just yet. Next off, we're going to start with our solar panels. Now it's very important that you place down 8 solar panels. This will allow the system to run 24/7 without you having to fill up any biofuel reactors. I've spec'd out that 8 solar panels and 4 batteries what you need for 3 mineral extractors to run 24/7. I've also left a little bit of headroom so that if you want to place a portal at this site so it's easier to get here and get out of here, the system will be able to handle that additional load. Now it's time to connect up all the electrical components. It doesn't matter which way you connect them as long as everything has at least one connection. The excess load from the sun will be able to charge up the batteries for the nighttime running. Ensure you connect up the mineral extractors to the power delivery system. Currently there is no sun and there is no batteries on my planet, therefore you're not hearing the mineral extractors going yet, and that's why we're getting the red icons. At this point I'm going to encourage you to wait until the next day. You will hear everything come online. We'll take a better look at the stats as soon as it's daytime on the planet again. Your base should look something like this. In total, we should have 16 supply depots, 3 mineral extractors, 8 solar panels and 4 batteries, all connected up. As a side note, what you can do is you can add base parts to this to make it look a little bit nicer. That's perfectly fine. I didn't include any of the additional carbon in order to do this, so you'll just need to get additional carbon or materials for whichever building type that you're using. As you can see, the solar panels have opened up as the sun has come out, and we are now generating power, and you can hear the rumbling of the mineral extractors starting to pull the gold out the ground. Alright everyone, so it has been about 24 hours. I've just gotten back to the... what is making that noise? Is it this little guy? You make a lot of noise, my friend. Anyways, let's go back to the farm. So it's been 24 hours and I'm here to check on the system. We can first start off by checking the batteries. As you can see, currently there is power that's been stored up that is now being pushed out to the mineral extractors. This is because it's nighttime and the solar panels are closed, but this is great. You can see that there's more than enough power to get us through the evening. And how you check this is by seeing that it states here time until drained at the current discharge rate, and we've got 13 minutes. So now how we compare that to find out if we have enough battery power stored up is by going to any one of the solar panels. Here we'll be able to tell how many dark hours are remaining, which is 7 minutes. So we have 13 minutes of battery power stored up, and we're gonna have the sun come out in about 7 hours, which means they'll start charging again. So this is great. We have more than enough power to power this whole system. But now for the good stuff. Let's find out how much gold did we get. As you can see, our pipeline status is capacity reached, so we have all of our gold stored up here. And if we hover over it, you'll see that if we sell them for 350 units each, you get yourself 5.9 million units. So not quite the 6 million that I did state. However, this can be upgraded to get you to that 6 million. This is a lot of gold. Currently the system's not pulling any more gold. That's because the supply depots are full. So I'm going to take the gold out and I'm just going to put it on my exosuit, and now things are going to start up again. Yeah, we have an indication of how much longer it's going to take until we're at capacity again, which is about 24 hours. So this is great. Now that we have the gold stored in our inventory, let's go sell it and see how much money we make. The gold can be sold at the nearest space station, or it can be sold on the planet at outposts, trading outposts specifically. And as long as it's not an abandoned building, you should be able to find a trade terminal there. Now, there is one more thing that I need to mention, and that is that if you are not seeing the same prices for your gold, you're probably in a system that doesn't have a good economy. The value of the gold will be better to sell it in a system that has a good economy. How you check this is by installing an economy scanner on your starship, or you can just jump around until you find one. It shouldn't be too difficult. However, we should be able to get a fair amount from this system. So going up to the trade terminal, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to click on sell, and I'm going to find the gold. Here is the gold, and you'll see that it says sell 16,750 gold for 5.6 million. This is because the price is not the best in the system. You can go searching around. I would say 335 units for a single piece of gold is not bad, especially in the beginning game when you don't have much units. As you can see, I've got 116,000 units, which is not really great. So I'm just going to sell all my gold. You can keep some of it if you like. You can just basically sell a little bit less, maybe keep a few hundred, and then sell the rest. There we go. You just made yourself 5.5 million units odd without having to do anything really. Now tomorrow you just log in again and you go get more gold out of the system, and you just keep storing it up, and then you can sell it whenever you need extra units. This system is scalable. If you find yourself finding A nodes, gold mineral nodes on planets, that will be better. You can put down more mineral miners. I've scaled this up on one of my own farms on a different save. I think I'm sitting on about 180 million every 2 days, which is more than enough that I need. What I wish I did in the beginning was making a gold farm so that throughout the gameplay I wouldn't have to keep buying anything. Yeah, so the game is now rewarding me for acknowledging the fact that we just made a lot of units. So now a question may be, how can you improve the existing farm that you have? There are two ways of doing this. You can either increase our storage depots to hold the gold for a longer period of time before filling up, or you can put down more mineral extractors. As this is a guide for beginners, I suggest doing the supply depot expansion rather over than doing the mineral extractors. You're not going to get that much more healed, but you may not be logging in every single day into No Man's Sky. It won't help if you don't log in every single day. If you add on more supply depots, it will be less days that you have to log in. You can log in less frequently, and when you do log in, you'll have way more gold. In the beginning, I would suggest doing this because supply depots are pretty easy to make. All that is required is to use metal plating. This will allow you to expand it, no issues. Just to keep in mind, this is a beginner's guide. This is not necessarily for someone who's experienced in No Man's Sky. You can build much bigger, elaborate farms where you actually get into crafting to make a lot more money. In the beginning, this will be a big time saver for you, so I definitely suggest it. If this guide helped you, please drop a like if you don't mind. If you want to see more content like this, you can subscribe to the channel. And lastly, should you run into any issues building your farm and need some assistance, just drop a comment on this video and I'll be happy to help. Thank you for watching.